Hello guys, how you doing there? Thanks for joining us. So what are we going to do tonight? We are going, or this afternoon for those in the States. Yeah, what we're going to do is have a little look at the VXP targets. So done quite a few of them. Obviously this is in preparation for the new Assault raid. And yeah, been playing a little bit with them and picked up a few different ideas. So staying safe, high cut. Yeah, mate. Trying. Not so easy, is it? Boredom, I think, is more the risky thing now, to be honest. Right, the music's too loud. Just do the normal and just shout if it's all right and tolerable, and we'll just put up with it. Right, I've got a couple of ships ready. We won't talk about the ship builds and that sort of stuff just yet. But we will actually just have a look at targets and what's in the target. So, from what I've looked at the target so far, let's just find a turret. So the turrets themselves, obviously it's assault, isn't it? And they're going back to a sort of an old visual anyway. So what you'll see in the turrets are the old Sentinel turret, okay, and that then is obviously the long-range turret, and it's chucking lots of missiles at you, about 8 at a time, but they aren't very powerful. They're just goddamn annoying because they get in the way. And then after that, then there's this one down here, which is the Halo. Now the Halo normally has obviously a MIRV at the end of it, but these ones don't seem to. Unfortunately, what they are doing though is you can't deflect them, so they actually hit. No matter how fast you move and that sort of stuff, they're not dumbfire. They go straight for you. So there's those as well, and then the last ones basically are these ones over here, which is the Venom turrets. Now the good thing about those is you can actually kite them and just hello bro, how you doing, mate? You can just about kite them. So they're 105, and it's just about what the maximum range of what your ships are if you're at the right angle. Anyway. So those are 3 turrets we've got to worry about. The good thing about the Halos is they've got an inner range as well. You can just get inside them. We'll look at that as well in a moment. And like I said, the ones that are there really just to annoy you, to make you feel as if you're going to be taking lots of damage, but generally you're not, are the Sentinels, or not at this early stage yet. There's a couple of tricks that we can have a look at. We will go through the target, dissect it, and pick up also about the ships as well that are in there, because I've learned a couple of things about those as well. Like I said, this is a preview. It's not set in stone. It may not even happen in the raid, but we'll see. Right. Right, that's the ship I've gone for at the moment. In fact, it's barely better. I'm looking at the builder. So most of them I've obviously got the limited scattergun there, but I haven't got enough to do every ship. Okay, so I've got mostly those scatterguns on there. I've gone for 3 corrosive and 1 penetrative, but that's because obviously when the ships start tracking you up, and they definitely you can't avoid them, unfortunately, whereas most of the penetrative stuff you can avoid. At the moment I'm going with Hyper 30. When the flagship comes out, that may change. We can actually change that special. I've probably got a ship probably building at the moment. There is another option. Where is it? So look at the shipyard. Here we go. So in the design mode there, yeah. Oh look, I've just gained another token. Right. So in the design mode here, that you can actually swap. Obviously that would be the engine, but I've only got 2. This is the 3rd ship building. You can swap this out and then just go for the Guidance Scrambler 3. Reason for Guidance Scrambler 3 is as opposed to going for the limited one. If you look at the build time of this one here, okay, it's actually about 4 or 5 hours less than if you were going to go across for agility systems. But obviously the assault target, you don't need agility because you don't need stun resistance, and you certainly don't need slow resistance. So there's no point having that. And it's heavier as well. So yeah. So the other thing I've noticed as well, MDS seems to be the counter to go with. The others don't seem to work too well. The good thing about this one is you only seem to need about 4 or 5 across the whole fleet, so it may pay to stack a couple on one ship, on say like ship 1 and 2 and 3 maybe, and the other ones just go all scatterguns, that sort of stuff, and then change that special out instead of having the countermeasure one, then have something different instead. Although that does give you some reload as well. So there are options. You don't have to have all the ships the same. Haven't seen the proper targets yet, obviously, because we're far too early. But with scatter, obviously it's an area effect weapon as well. So when the scatterguns hit you, they're just going to hit all these ships as well. The ballistic maybe, sorry, the penetrative damage maybe not, but the scatters it definitely will be. Anyway. Let's go and take a look at the target. Like I say, there's no rush. We've got plenty of time, so we'll take a look at what we can find and see if there's the one that's not been hit. I know people have been quite sneaky on the the getting their VXP sorted out. There's a 101 here. If you aren't aware, there was a nice sneaky way of getting the 101s, turning in and taking the first little turret and exiting. Do that 9 times, you actually managed to skull the whole fleet for instant fix. So. Hey, Si, how you doing, mate? It is potty class, you're right, mate, yeah. Right, okay. Yeah, that's the turret I was talking about, that one there. Anyway, I noticed this it looks like there's an awful lot of stuff in this target, but actually, it's not too bad. And you can actually take most of it out without too much hassle. Right, so first things first, you'll notice then the first thing is going to, obviously this sentinel turret here is going to fire at you, and we can test that theory out by just taking one ship and then bringing one ship forward. There you go, so instantly look how many missiles are coming in, look, and every single one of those. Bear in mind I've only got one MDS on that there ship, so if I take the other one out of the way, look. So whilst the sentinels look like they're annoying, and in the 107 you can actually get it where 3 or 4 of them stack. So, as in 3 or 4 of the targets will fire you at once, and actually one MDS fully ranked up will actually take it out. So that's not a huge concern. So this is the Venom turret, obviously. What I do like about this is if you come down, you can just about, if you're careful. And there you look. I'm not actually touching it, but obviously it's just the way that the game is played because it's on, you know, a slight diamond formation. Then actually you can take 0 damage. So first things first then, so the scatter turrets themselves you can outrange, and that's worth noting, okay? Because when you get clusters like this, now the ones you have to be concerned about under these clusters, like I said, you've got the all three turret types here. These ones here have the area effect, and they track. Okay, look like a halo, but they're not a halo turret. Okay, visually yes, okay, but actually lets off one projectile and actually does hit your ship. Okay, and no matter how fast you're going or where you're going, it's going to hit you. You can evade some, but you can't evade them all. Most of the sentinel ones, then you can evade, which is quite decent, or you can knock down, which is great. The venoms, and then you can outreach. This building here, as you can see, look, as soon as I put my mouse over the top of it, look, this is the building that you need to try and take out as soon as possible. Obviously, if you don't take this building out here, it takes about twice as many shots to take out each one of these turrets, or twice as many sort of like hits with the scatters. Going back to scatter guns, if you're aiming for this obviously venom turret here, you'll end up knocking this sentinel out as well at the same time, and vice versa. If you're heading over for this one here coming from this side, you'll end up taking this turret out as well. But obviously to get through and get to the back up here, you'd have to get past these ones here. Now there's various ways of doing it. Okay, notice that these ones up here have nothing to do with this cluster down here. But you notice that this cluster up here, look, it also highlights these ones up here. So interesting, it doesn't highlight this one, but it does highlight the top and the bottom ones. So this could be the way through, and then down, and then to take out that one there, and then to go up, not so sure. The outposts at the moment have nothing on them. There's absolutely nothing at all on the outposts at all, and they die pretty quick. So this complete target, which wasn't too bad, I managed to knock the whole of this target out just with 2 ships. Just with 2 ships. So I've got 2 ships that are actually U3 already, and they're already scaled up, so, and armoured, so that sounds like yeah. But there's a lot of turrets in there, isn't there? Right, the Apollos, okay. Particularly the 107, the Apollos actually come out in big groups, and if you manage to group them up and let them chase you around, you can actually shoot out 2 or 3 sets once they bunch up in one hit, which is not too bad. What else can we say about the halos? Not so much in this target, but one of the other targets. If you look at the halos, it's got an inner ring as well, so you can see the inner ring there, so that'd be a good place to get in for this one here, look, which has a gap all the way up to this corner here. And then if you look at this one here, look, it's also the same. So if you can get in just close there, then neither of these will fire at you. Or if you want to kill this one here, get inside there, and then only the one target will fire. You might be able to get away with it not firing at all, and vice versa. If you want to take out the other turret. In fact, this one here, you probably better get in there, and neither of them will fire at you. Obviously, you've got to kill off this first. Bear in mind, these are out of range, so always have a look at the target first. These are supposed to be UAV carriers. They aren't. They are chucking scatter guns at you. It looks like rockets, but they're not. I think they're mini missiles, that stuff, and obviously some long-range stuff as well. You can evade some of it, but not all of it. And obviously the Proto Apollos are in there. They're just annoying, really, to be honest. They're scatter as well, and they tend to cluster up. But anyway, they do die quite quickly. One thing I did notice as well, which is quite handy. I'll just prove it. Look, you can actually use a rocket if you want to on the buildings, and that's obviously the building pinch one, and you can actually pinch off quite a few of the targets, which is quite nice. They last for about 19 seconds. So that's quite decent. Which means that by the time that turret comes back on live again, then actually you've knocked it out. So there's a way of virtually taking no damage. Okay, there was a bit of damage because there's a bit of damage on ship 1, and a little bit on ship 2. But there's a way of taking out a cluster of turrets, look, straight away. That you can, obviously when it comes to the bigger clusters, you can probably hit the middle one and knock out all 3. But just as a point, it's worth having a look at. Right. I'll show you how hard these carriers are to kill off. They're quite annoying, to be honest. They seem to take forever to die, but they do chase you. So obviously the Apollos are scatter, so as you can see they're bunching up. Look already. And there's the halo firing now. So if I kill this front scatter, oops, just a little bit there. Here we go, there's a random, I'll show you the stuff on this carriers, and the carriers take an awful lot of killing. I wonder if they can get in close, does it make a difference? Don't know. I'm trying to think if they've got a limited range on some of their stuff, but don't think they have. So here we are then, we're in a position now where obviously we've got to try and can't stop those hitting you. That's the range. So once you're past here, it's just this sentinel that's going to fire, which is going to make no difference whatsoever to us. These have got thermal, so don't bother trying to bring in subs or anything like that, because it's a waste of time. I actually tried that, and I think I got about as far as here with a single sub, and although the ring looks quite small, you've got absolutely no chance. Like I said, so there's the distance, and there's the second one as well. So I'm probably going to try and, I wonder if I can go around this way. How far is that one there? Not too bad. So I wonder if I can get around. Just clipped inside, didn't I? Just outside there. Oh, just outside there. Do they overlap? Let's have a look. That one doesn't. No, I think I can get through. No, this one here I can't do. Right, let's see if I can take out this turret and the Apollo at the same time. Yep. Should have gone a bit closer to that turret, shouldn't I, to be honest? So you can bring these ships down as well, and they'll chase you. Right, so everything up there is dead now. If I can get inside, I should be able to take out that building. Just so I've got plenty of free kick side coins at the moment. I want to see if I can stop the scatters if it's got a limited range. So let's see if I can get in there. Difficult to tell really. Right, so we're clear up on this side. So if I can get inside the range of these two here without touching the scatter guns if possible. Okay, so this target, which is probably going to be similar to the lower target, it is doable. I managed to do this whole target quicker, obviously without messing about. I managed to get the whole thing done with 2 ships. I'd say what is supposed to be a UAV carrier ship isn't. It seems to have 2 different types of weapon systems on it. This one here, obviously, the Venom target itself is definitely, you can outreach it without a doubt. These are the key buildings, obviously these installations here. Let's try to kill them as soon as possible, but obviously take care of getting these. I think it was about 24, 25 hits with 2 ships to kill one of these off, and it was about 10 hits once that was gone, 10 to 12 hits when that was just hit, when that died. Most of the things in here, like I said, there's in a range there you can see, which is not too bad, which is probably about what, 60, I think, or something like that. It's not horrendous. The Apollos, let's go out of this target, look at 107. The Apollos do definitely seem to be more there for annoyance than anything, and they definitely do cluster up. So once we see the actual targets, I'm sure there'll be a way to get them to bunch, and then it's probably better to let them bunch and kill them in one big hit than it is to let's recall this here. I've got plenty of those free kickside tokens for repairing, so that's quite handy. Like I say, for the ships, there's been plenty of videos out there on people's ideas for what to build and what not to build and how to build them. Right, let's have a look at 107. Yeah, I don't think you can avoid the damage in those UAV carriers, which is annoying. I mean, I've only got 2 ships at the moment, and maybe not enough. I mean, there's 2 fire types. There's definitely sort of a longer range, sort of like cluster missile or something. And maybe the MDS2, 2 of the MDS3s isn't enough, and maybe once we get the rest of the ships sorted, it might help. Right, let's have a look at 107. Quite a different target. See if this one's not been messed about too much. Like I said, this is all subject to change, obviously, because anything can happen, can't it? Right, so at the moment, you think, well, where are all the Apollos? They spawn from this center ship here, and they seem to. The good thing about these, and I can't remember what they're called, there's a name, I'm sure somebody in the chat will mention it in a minute. Quite old, but these here, I mean, obviously you've got these radiation rings. We've seen these before in other targets, but it doesn't seem to have any weapons on it apart from these rings here. Once you get inside the range, you can mess them up quite quickly. thing is they do chase you, and as soon as you get into the range of them, then obviously Apollo starts sprouting out of this ship here, so just got to be cautious. Now whether we can go up there and take that one out first, I'm not sure. I suppose we can have a look. At least you can see the concept. And this is why the ships need to be quite quick and then quite agile as well, which is why I've got another reason why the Sea Serpent's on there as a crew. So if I can trigger this one. Here we go. So I am taking some damage, definitely, because I can't retreat now. So there definitely is a bit of damage coming off the ship, because I've got a tiny bit on ship 1 and there's definitely a little bit on ship 2. But I haven't triggered any of the Apollos yet. I'm not quite sure what it is that does the triggering, to be honest. Now there's the turret we've got to kill off there, and there's a looks like a scatter gun, I think it is anyway. Yeah, that is. It's a venom gun, isn't it? Behind it, turret, sorry, in behind. Obviously, this one here is just here to be annoying. That's easy enough to kill off. That one to be careful of. But on this one here, there's that halo there and that halo there. So hopefully, if I can kill this venom turret will take a while to kill. But going at this angle, then I'm killing this building at the same time. I don't know if you can count the number of times it's going to take to hit it, but I think it's about 24. But obviously, as soon as I hit the building below it, it'll go much quicker. There we go. So this one won't. Oh, it will do actually, because it wasn't close enough. Here we go, here come the Apollos. Now, what causes them to come out? Maybe it's the distance I am to them, I'm not really sure. But... And they've got quite a range, considerably more than what I've got. But the best thing to do is not trying to avoid me, I think, it's just to blap them and get rid of them. So this reminds me of one of the previous raids when we used to have the submarine raid, where we used to spawn out lots of little drones. So here they go. So clearly the thing is get down there as quick as you can and kill that mothership off. Ooh. Which I'm going to do now. Let's just let them. So I think it just keeps spouting out loads and loads and loads of drones. Oh, could be in trouble here, couldn't I? Keep out the radiation roads. Yeah, that's made a mess, hasn't it? Troublesome. Not easy. Mind you, 2 ships is not surprising, I suppose. Remind me what the name of the submarine was we used to have this. Can't remember it. It was a draconian raid, wasn't it? Typhoon, that's it. Cheers, Tommy. Oh, I'm going to get boxed in. Oh no, got away with it just. So I think once the flagship comes in, and if it's got a speed up, I think we're going to have to try to slow these down a little bit, because if this... God, this thing's taking some killing, good lord. So you can see all this, yeah. So there's 2 sets of turrets there coming in. From the Sentinels, but even just with 2 MDS3s, it's taking them all down easy. So for this target here, I'm going to go around and get inside this range here and try and take this building out if I can. Hello, Dial. How are you? I'm too close. It's firing on me. So the scatter range is quite distant. You can see because I'm clipping that target there, that turret there, and I was managed to fire all the way out to that one there. So actually, it's got quite a good splash range, isn't it? So let's just see how far we can get the old. Do you reckon we'll get all 3? What do you reckon? Let's hit it dead center. So these take it, what was it, 19 seconds, something like that? Oh wait, because there's nothing else on here, so we can get right in close on this one as well. There's a bit of an overlap there. Yeah, we managed to get all 4 there. Let's target that. With a bit of luck, we might be able to. Kill a lot without it coming alive again. Definitely. So you can obviously use the 15-minute pinches, can't you, as well? So the turret pinch. And I think they're about 8 minutes apart, or 9 minutes once you use the 5-minute speed up. I think they are. Okay, 2 on this one here. That's annoying. So you could go out and obviously use some more pinches, but we're not going to do that because that's pretty boring. To get to this one is not easy. So there's a big area there where that won't fire. Not so good on this side though, is it? Protected on the southern flank from these 2 here. That's going to do nothing to me. So we've got 1, 2. What's the overlap there in that gap? So I have to go around. So notice the difference on the damage on the ships. So definitely ship 1 takes more damage than ship 2 as well. It did seem to die quicker. I thought it was just an optical illusion, but let's see if I can get in as close as I can to these. I think this is the last bit of the target, isn't it? I think this is everything. I think. So I'm not going to worry about. It's that I need to kill first. It should then kill the other target. I think that's everything. Yeah. No, there's definitely something else there. Let's let it find itself. Oh, it's this one here, scattergun. Yeah, see, so if you let it go auto, it gets too close. You can just Let's get rid of one ship. Let's just see how close you need to get. So at this angle here, coming at 3 o'clock. There you go. I'm not even anywhere near the turret. I'm still managing to hit it. Let's move from the southern front. Yeah, so it's not so favourable. Still not hitting, see, visually. Yeah, just touching it now. Let's try looking from the 9 o'clock position, from the west. Yeah, so east and west it looks fine, doesn't it? North and south, not so obvious. Okay, that's the target complete. Sorry about that, Si. I had no idea that would pop up. Apparently you can't do links. You have to send it to him on Yeah, so damage, let's have a look. Let's go and sync these and we'll, because it's gone over the time. In fact, no, we can do that. I think they are completely dead. I'm pretty sure it's 4.5, isn't it? Something like that. I think let's go and kill them off. Yeah, let's kill them off. We'll get some more free tokens tomorrow. Let's see what they are completely dead for one ship. I think it's 3 hours, which is an hour and a half in the raid then, isn't it? Someone's had a good go at this target. Oh, that was me actually. It wasn't. That was the last time I was in here, so it's the same target, isn't it? So you can see the difference of just how hard it is. Look. Just how many shots you got to do just to kill it off because that building is still there. Right, we've got one dead ship, so that's good enough. As long as we have one dead one. Tell them what I'll see outside. I have no idea, mate. Right, we'll let this time out a second. We'll go back in and I'll take a look. Oh, another thing I was going to talk about as well. Just interest, when you come out of a target and you get the pop-up screen. So you get this pop-up screen here. So, and you think to yourself, oh, I've only taken, so of the total amount of damage I took in that target, the 100% damage from that target that I've just been in, not how much I've killed the target or how much damage is in my ship, it's irrelevant how damaged my ship is. If I just go in and take one round, I take damage. But of the damage that hit my ship, then it breaks it down into, obviously it's all penetrative because there was no corrosive in that one there. But then it will tell me that of that the items that hit me in that engagement then, and then it will break it down from the 100% what's what basically. So it doesn't really matter what type of target you're going in, it's of the damage you're going in, if that makes sense. It's not necessarily, because some people go, oh look, I've got more armor on my ships and that sort of stuff now, why am I still taking 7% damage? It's 7% of the damage. Now you might have different evade and that sort of stuff, be able to evade things more, but there's always going to be 100% of something, unless you've took no damage, because 100% of nothing is still nothing, isn't it? Not like I wanted to state the obvious, but it's not about how much damage, it's as a percentage of the damage. Just to make that clear. Oh, subs. Anyway, so let's have a look at the hull itself. Like this is probably just going to be for an hour, and then we'll probably be done to most. So obviously this is not half repair time, and there's no Grease Monkey crew either. So yeah, so it's 2 hours 29. Just for a nice change. It isn't like 2 hours 31 or something like that. They actually managed to get it this time underneath that half-hour window. So if you think about that, you're going to halve that again, then halve it again. Obviously, if you're using the Grease Monkey crew in half repair time as well. So that would be for a fleet of 4. If you're going to do all 4 in the raid, if you haven't got the 5th ship built, which hopefully should come in Pillage, the flagship, whatever it's going to be called. Yeah, so 5 coin would be for 4 ships if you're using a Grease Monkey crew, or 10 coin, you know. Otherwise, right, anyway. Right, okay, let's just fix these up. Is some of these nice free April gifts that we've got. So keep saying okay, sorry. Crews, that's a good thing to talk about. So yeah, leave that crew on there for the moment. So I did have a thing, where was it? Let me see if I can find out where it is. Just 2 seconds and I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm just looking for, basically, there's a picture of what crews are good and what crews aren't so good, which should help people as well. I'm hoping it will help people. Let's see if I can find it. I did put together a quick let's see. Yeah, I put together a quick picture basically of what was what crews you could use and what crews would and wouldn't work. Because some crews are okay, but some crews just don't work very well. So right, here we go. Right, sorry about back now. Okay, so yeah. So this basically is my take on the crews for the ones that we were post the Retribution raid, obviously to start collecting. The Molotov Maidens, odd, but obviously they just they do a lot of splash. And if you do want to increase your splash, then obviously it's 30%, and they increase the spread as well. I know it's for explosive, but actually it does work for scattergun for some bizarre reason. I don't know why. Sea Serpents, as we've said, obviously you're going to get the evade bonus, which is always a nice freebie to have, of 24%, and it gives you that turn bonus because these ships are actually faster in a straight line than they can turn, so you're going to need the turn bonus. So Sea Serpents is a definite win-win there. Creeping Death is, there's not a huge amount of turrets, but it may help because you get 90% building damage as well, which is quite handy. Obviously you want to try and take out those flipping generators there that you need to take out before you actually start taking the turrets down. We can take the turrets down, they just take at least twice as long to take out. So Creeping Death will help you, and anything else that will do building damage as well. There are some pointless crews in there as well. Basically there are a couple of crews, well, all of these across on the right hand side as you're looking now, none of them help you with preventing you from taking corrosive damage, simply because all the crews were built before corrosive came into the game. So whilst it will help you in other areas, yes, the Grease Monkey will do half repair, obviously, but it's probably best off left in the dock. It will help you a bit with penetrative, and it will protect your fleet, obviously, as the fleet starts dying off. But I think I'd rather have evade and 150% turn than that, especially in the early stages. You can always have a spare slot maybe and switch from one to the other if you want to make the crew last as long as the ships last as long as possible. But yeah, and obviously the ice destroyers and all those sort of things, and all the extra crews that are all the triple star crews, whilst they do have extra building damage and whilst they do have extra resistances to penetrative and that sort of stuff, what they don't have obviously is they don't have anything against corrosive. So that's it basically. Yeah, why didn't I use corrosive battery in my builds? Well, let's go back to the build and I'll tell you why. I will be using corrosive batteries in some of them, but not all of them, which you probably think is a bit odd. So let's go down to look at the build. Bear in mind that the high amount of wrong button. Let's do the right button. So let's take off the things that we aren't really messing ourselves around with too much. So though I haven't got one, I'll stick it on anyway. The obvious things that we need to it says in fact no, let's load up and then we'll talk about. Right, so that's what I've run out because obviously I've used the 2 engines already. These are the 3 specials that you can definitely play with. I've put it on because you can avoid most of the penetrative damage, but you can't really avoid the corrosive, obviously, and the corrosive damage is quite annoying because they're scatter ships and you just can't evade it at all. So I put on 3 corrosive personally and just 1 of the penetrative. That's just a personal thing. It may end up being the completely wrong idea. For this one I've used Hyper 30, like I said, you can do Guided Scrambler 3, but taking that off. Now the other option you can do, which is a good thing to do, but it is quite heavy, is as you were saying, you can actually put on the corrosive battery, which is good, but not amazing. So while you get extra building and obviously wall damage, well the building damage particularly is important because you get 80% there. But then obviously what I'm losing obviously is my countermeasure reload on those particular ships. So I'm going to have 3 ships like this. I'm going to have 3 ships with the corrosive battery on and 2 ships with countermeasure loader. And I'm going to put the countermeasures all on the 2 ships and the other 3 ships are going to have the corrosive battery. But then I can go back here and then I can decide what evade I'm going to put in. Whether I need Hyper 30 installation, I don't really know. But obviously once I put it on one I need to put it on all of them, so if I'm going to change it on the others, if the flagships when it comes is really fast and it has something else, then this is probably what, in fact this is probably what the other ships, if I've got any of those limited ones left, I haven't. He says, what is this, a scatter gun look like to us? Can I come and try from scatter guns? Yeah. So I'll probably have 3 ships like this. That's probably my goal. The only thing you have to worry about is the weight now. So this is too heavy. So I think what we're going to have to do is probably go down to one of these. Yeah, and that look just gets us just under the weight limit. Although obviously all of these are going to be the once I get them, we're going to go with all these all the way across the board because they're the same weight anyway. So that will get me extra damage. Fortunately, look, I'm going up then to obviously for building damage is going to be 288. Take that off. I'm down to 116. So that's going to help massively. So 3 ships like that, I believe. And I was talking to a couple of TFC guys today about this, and then they're the same sort of train of mind. Just wasn't sure how many MDS, and as soon as you put obviously your countermeasures on, you want to be able to get them to reload faster as well, and to have obviously a decent countermeasure range as well. So I don't know if that helps. Like I said, I'm totally guessing about the armor. I just think it may help. Generally, with diminishing returns, the more armor you put on, and obviously the further up your retro goes up. Hello Ren, hello mate, how you doing? Obviously the further your retro goes up, and I've retro these as you can see. Look, just because obviously I knew I was going to do this stream, I put these up to U3 already, so it will help. YouTube recommended it for you. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, Ren, mate, to be honest. Yeah, so I'll just literally recap. We haven't seen anything about a flagship yet. We're definitely, obviously, quite happy with the turrets and what we've seen in them. Although they look old-fashioned, actually they fire in a completely different way. The Halos don't do the Merving bit. The Sentinels don't do anything at all. And the carriers aren't doing UAVs. They're doing other things as well. So that's typical. They just reuse the same blueprints, but or the visuals of the blueprints, but completely change them. So it could have been any ship. Doesn't matter what they've used, to be honest. But yeah, so 3 ships like this, unless you can find anything else that does an awful lot of corrosive, but I don't think so. You want damage basically, don't we? So anything with building damage it, but in there all it is obviously the corrosive damage there plus 30, and then obviously building damage again on top of that plus 80. So that'll be it. 3 ships like that for me, and then probably 2 ships once I've got them all, or maybe put them on the flag, depending on what the flag looks like. I don't know yet. It may have some extra built-in toys to play with yet. So, but I think I'll probably end up going with 2 ships, looking something along those lines there. Yeah, something around about that. That's probably, well, in fact, I can take that one off then, can't I? Because of obviously I'm lighter now. I can get away with that, I do believe. That doesn't look too bad. YouTube's recommending any old gits. Yeah, well, those old gits have got to stay in, mate. So there we go. Yeah, and that's the ship I think I'm going to go with from my gut feeling anyway. It doesn't look too bad. But yeah, so I just lose a little bit. Like I said, this one is plus 30%. Sorry, yeah, I'm getting 30% evade bonus over Guided Scrambler 3, which obviously, which is of nearly 50%, not quite. So I am losing a bit there, but I think the countermeasure reload is important. And if the flagship comes in, sorry, I think that the extra bonus combat speed, sorry, is important at the moment, because those ships trying to evade them and getting inside those thermal rings is quite difficult. I did try it without the Hyper 30 on it. It was quite awkward. But obviously, if the flagship comes in, it boosts. Obviously, it gives a boost, which it generally does when it comes out with an Apollo ship. And then I'll probably drop that off and put that into a Guided Scrambler. I think that will help a lot. Like I said, there's no point going for agility system because it takes longer to build. It's a little bit heavier. Not that that's relevant here, but you don't get any slow effect, and you certainly don't get any stun incoming. So there's no point. It's a waste of effort. It's better than watching chicken videos. You've fallen that low, have you? Oh my word. Yeah, so that's what I think. Whether I'm wrong, I'm hoping the flagship will come with a bit of a speed boost on it, and some crazy overload would be quite nice. Not so much as what the Apollos do and that sort of stuff, but it'd be quite nice if it did have something. So I would definitely end up finishing somewhere around about something along those sort of lines. Just taking that off and going back up with that, and then, like I said, dropping that off, dropping that one in, and then dropping that off itself, and then going back with the battery as we discussed. And that would be 3 ships like that. And that's if, obviously, that would be 2, 3, and 4 basically, with 1 and 5 being the countermeasure ships. We'll see. We'll see. If it's anything like the last set of targets in the last raid, so it always seems to be that ship 1 and ship 5 seems to take a bit of a clout, and I'm not sure why that is. So maybe actually maybe I don't put the countermeasure ship in ship 5 because I don't want them to die, and then obviously I'll start taking incoming one from the Sentinels as well, which is not so good. So maybe I'll put one of these into 5 because it's got a bit more protection, a little bit more, just because it's got a bit of turret defense on it as well. So maybe put this into 5 might be a good idea, and maybe on this build the flag like this. I'm not so sure. Ren is bound to have a decent deal because he's a professional YouTuber. I don't think it's quite his profession. He definitely does a lot more videos than me, though. I don't do so many these days. Anyway, let's pop back out and just recap on the targets. that's 50 minutes already. So we'll go out and do some more killing. We've got a bit of time left on this one here. Oh yeah, just going down to rockets. They do work, which is nice. The pinch as well. And you don't have to go obviously the big pinch as well. So I've got a few of these here. You can see there's the building time. So it's 28 seconds on the building, and I didn't need 28 seconds. That was far too much. So that's 28 seconds. And then over here, look, these ones here, 16 seconds. And they build in next. Look, build really quick. Have I finished building a rocket? Let's have a look. Yeah, so 15 minutes. Yeah, so it's 10 minutes of rocket. In fact, by the time I take a bit of it, I've got a crew on it. I think for building rockets, haven't I? Oh no, maybe not. Let's cancel that a second. I can't remember what crews I've got for build, but yeah, they're definitely pretty decent to be honest. Yeah, like I said, Ren, the Hyper 30 may come off yet. It just depends on what the flagship's got. And the only reason I said about it is I'm sure you've driven the VXP targets as well, is the ships in the middle, if you aren't careful, they seem to catch you out. And with the fact that the Sea Serpent has got that extra turn, I just want to be able to get the extra speed up. So that 30% bonus, although I do lose, yeah, I acknowledge, definitely do lose a little bit of evade there. So are there more fresh targets? Yes, there are. Is that a 101? Yeah, it is. Let's have a quick gander again. We'll have a recap and then we'll call it quits because that'll be an hour and that's plenty enough to be talking about VXP targets and future raid targets. Yeah, so this one's total. Like I said, so Venom turret you can definitely outrange without a doubt. The Apollos are all scatters, which are annoying, but that's the way it is. The Halo turret, it's got an inner range, minimum inner range, so obviously you can hop inside of that, which is quite nice. I'm not sure you can quite, yeah, you can definitely get to that Venom turret without getting any damage whatsoever and take it out as well. You can definitely pinch all three of those if you so choose to do so. Sentinels don't seem to do anything apart from being annoying, to be honest, because I mean 4 MD Missile Defense System 3 seems to deal with up to at least 3 turrets. Does it muffle my voice, mate? Does it? Sorry. I can turn it down a bit. Anyway, so yeah, so just remember, Venom turrets themselves, then you can definitely outrange them, particularly if you're coming in from 3 o'clock on the, there we go. They do seem to be dumb fire, so if you do drive past them at any stage, then obviously you can probably outpace the incoming. I wonder if you can actually trigger the Apollos without going inside the range. No, it doesn't look like you can. No. I just want to see if we can get the trigger the Apollo. There we are. Kill them off separately and see if I can pinch those turrets. Dumbfire. Nope. Those Halos are definitely not dumbfire. Not exactly Halos, are they? But if you were in a position where you wanted to get loads and loads of these pinches up and running, then you can definitely pinch the clusters. You have no one to abuse during lockdown. Yeah, so literally you can take them out. You haven't even got to worry about it's target 1 and get inside the firing range of the other one. Even if it was to come back on, you're inside, so you're not going to do any harm whatsoever. There we go. Look, so that's the more you can get right inside the inner ring. Like I said, that one can't fire, and you can target on that one there, and that took out the sentinel in the middle, which don't seem to do anything whatsoever. Anyway, so hey Durfee, hey there, mate. These carriers are just frustrating because you think, oh right, it's going to be UAVs. Oh no, it's not. Where's the outer? Yeah, so like I said, there's like a sweet spot right in the center here, where you'd be between those two there. Now I think if you pinch that cluster, you could probably get in, and you'd have time because you've got 28 seconds to kill off that, and also you just got to watch that there. And these would obviously still fire on you. So this isn't obviously the target we're considering ourselves with the raid. It's just a design concept at the moment. What I'll try and do is trigger off one of those UAV carrier. Well, I should call them UAV carrying ships because they're not carrying UAVs anymore. Let's go up and we'll get one. I never like assault targets. I never have done. I'm more of a siege raid person myself. But... Right, did that trigger more than one ship? Yeah, it did. Okay. Can't say I remember last year's assault raid. Oh, I suppose I wasn't playing then. Right. So, I think, can you avoid it? Are they dumbfire? Yeah, I think their stuff's dumbfire, isn't it? The missiles aren't. They're tracking definitely, but their scatters seem to be. And they've definitely got a greater range of what we have, so it could be a case of just driving around in circles and going around them. Not so sure. Yeah, sorry mate, Streamlabs doesn't let you do links. I don't think it lets you swear either. Okay, that's two things that's amused me. Right, what we were going to do... Yeah, you've got guaranteed damage whether you like it or not. It is annoying. Yeah, even the Proteus Apollos, they outrange you. The Drak carriers, sorry, the UAV carriers outrange you. Everything seems to have a go at you. It seems like it. So this is where I think having a splash bonus might be a good thing. You know, the cruise with splash bonus. Because especially in the other target, like I said, the 107, when we were hitting that, the amount of those Proto Apollos that came out that central ship, which I know begins with a V, but I still can't remember what it's called. Well, that thing's stationary. Can we outrange its own scatter? I wonder if we can. No. I'm nowhere near it. It's still firing at me. Right, it's dead. How many more of those are there? There's 1, 2, 3. God, there's loads, isn't there? There's 3. Right. Target, was this target always this shape? I don't remember it being that shape before. Yes, it probably was, but I don't remember it. If you try killing these here, A, they fire on you if you get too close, and B, they take forever until you kill this generator here. But obviously every time you're trying to kill this, then you're just taking incoming all the time. And here come the Apollos. Bless them. Yeah, so those are dumbfire. You can definitely just try again. Let that scatter, venom scatter hit me. Yeah, they're falling behind, isn't it? Can we get these Apollos to stack up? I wonder if you can trap them behind them. Can they trap them behind things? Yeah, we sort of can, but they've got one a hell of a range. If you can get them to stack, obviously it's quicker to kill them. You can just outrange the venom. Annoying. It's like this generator up here, look. Look how all those turrets are linked together, look, just because of that one generator. They're all linked. And if I get any closer, I think that UAV one's going to come in. Yeah, here he comes. So I need to get out the way first. I think people are going to be quite annoyed with these ones, to be honest, these targets. Oh, and the other carriers as well. Here it comes, so got to try and take this one out pretty quick. Bear in mind, I do only have 2 ships. But even so. So we cut off the 107. Hopefully we should be. I did earlier on. We managed to be able to kill off a complete 101 with the 2 ships. I don't want to exit because I think the evade crew will. Well, I might have to exit. I don't think I've got enough time, to be honest. Too close. So this time, the second ship's taking the most damage, and yet last time it was the first ship. Just want to take this one out. I can get in and kill that generator then, and I'll do it close so I can get inside the range of that one. So I've only got that one, so could have pinched that. If I had a pinch, that was. Let's kill this one and kill that one. Oh, I'm outside the range of that one now. That's annoying. So the overlap, pretty careful. As soon as you get inside that range, you'll be clapping those ones as well then. So one thing I've already noticed with these targets is that they're going to take a long time to kill. The distance between that and that, there's quite a gap. Good question. I think the 107, if it's like the VXP targets, is definitely going to be more of a skillful target. Whereas this one here is a right pain. Even it's the lower one, but it's bloody awful. I mean, they're definitely doable, but they're a long-ass target if it's going to be like this. other ships coming across. So let's get out of the way. Two clusters left. Not going to do it this time, am I? Going to run out of time, I doubt. Which means I think the crew will run out as well, or will have run out. 14 minutes, yeah. Well, I've got plenty of health left. See how far I can get before we go. So the generator's here this time, so we can get in. In fact, there are no... Get right in the centre there. There's no scatterguns on this one. Inside that one, so they shouldn't fire. So it should just be just these here, hopefully. So I'm going to have one cluster left, I think. And the ships aren't doing too bad. Let's get that generator out of the way. 8 seconds. Not going to make it. Just do all the damage I can at least. No one hold to rule them now. May as well finish it off. At least I get some bonus tokens for VXP for a defender when it comes out, hopefully. In pillage. We'll see. One, two, three. Avoid those. We're on the back. The difference makes speed-wise of killing is too close. Whoa. Idiot. Paying attention there. So you can definitely kill the targets off for 2, but then again it is 2 completely upgraded and fully armoured ships. However, their MDS3 ships are not ships with extra building damage. There we go. Right, I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else to discuss, to be honest. What do we think of the targets? Is the word rubbish? I don't know. Long. Frustrating. The ones that look like halos you can't avoid. You can evade, but you can't avoid because they trace you no matter what. The sentinel turrets are just annoying, which means you've got to have MDS3, otherwise they're going to keep chipping away at you. MDS3s, I reckon 4 at current, maybe 6. Put them on 2 of the ships, and then full power on the other 3 ships. Maximum evade as best possible, ships 1 and 5. Get as many as limited scatterguns as you possibly can. Clearly, if you're going to have 5 or 6 MDS3s, then you don't need to have so many of the scatterguns. You're definitely going to have some form of countermeasure, reload. So pick the best one you've got. They don't hit you every time, put it that way, Derpy. Yeah, they don't hit you every time. I'll jump back in with a single ship because it'll make it easier. Simply because I got hit by a Halo twice and it didn't. I'll take that off. It didn't. It didn't make the retreat button go out when it hit me. You know, if it's incoming and it clips you, then obviously you can't retreat. But it was still lit. That may just be an optical illusion, but let's have a look. There's a target under here. Let's have a look. This is a 107, so. Actually, this would be quite decent just to show the strength of the MDS3, which I think is going to be the best countermeasure for this. Well, the other thing I noticed as well, you can actually pick where you enter in the 107. Yeah, see that? So the two of those fired, look, and the retreat button is still available to me. So those two there definitely fired. In fact, what's that? Oh, that's just normal. Yeah, so those two halos fired, look, and the retreat button never went out at all. Let's just test it with a. Let's get as close as I dare. Oh, not without that, not too close to that ship. Let's go up again and see if I can just get one to. Whether they're forgiving the first few seconds, I don't know. Right, that's the Sentinel. Ignore those. Incoming at 1. Right, so that time it hit me, look, because now the retreat button's gone out. Oh, here we go. I like these ships. I have to say, I like this sort of stuff. So as soon as those rings start moving, jump inside. They do some damage though, these ships. And they can just mess around inside and the thermals can't touch you. But obviously, the way it's circling and ringing around you, get out of the way of those halos. Somebody remind me the name of those ships, because I can't remember for the life of me what they're called. What is that thing? Somebody remind me. That's from about 4 years ago. What the heck is it called? Ren, you'll know. What is it? It's a stupid colour, but what's the ship? I can't remember. I have to go and look at my inventory. Begins with V, doesn't it? Come on, ship, down you come. Oh, you little cheeky W. Oh, there he goes. You're messing with my head. See, that's why I want fast-ish ships that turn. The Valkyrie carrier. There we go. Look, I knew somebody'd know. There you go. Right, I got you. I'm in Valkyrie carriers. That's it. I wonder if I ever built those. I have no idea. They obviously didn't look like this, but they weren't this colour, were they? So once you're inside, these things are quite good. That's why I think the Evade crew is also really, really good, because of the 150% turn. Because throughout Valkyrie, thanks, mate. I don't think I ever built. So. Fun things, I like doing that sort of stuff. I like evading these sort of things because that's a bit more skillful. It's your own fault if you mess it up. That's more fun. That's enjoyable. That's the best bit of the target, I think, so far. That I don't like. It just spits out tons of Proto Apollos at you, which is goddamn annoying. That also seems to take forever to kill, and hopefully it's never going to have a big rocket or something to move it. So the Valkyrie carriers are the most enjoyable bit of the target as far as I'm concerned. Everything else sort of sucks. I wish they did move, and I wish they were dumbfire, so it actually give you. And I'd rather have an area effect you had to try and. It's got a Y in it, yeah, okay. Yeah, anyway, not to worry. Right. So that was interesting. So we went into the target. I wonder if we can get another one of these halos to try and miss. Oh, there's three of them now. We'll try to do it there. There is one here though. Where's the range? Just there. Where's the range of that one? Let's see if I can entice it into hitting me. Not close enough, by a little bit. There it is. And nope, see, it missed then because the retreat button is still available. Does that answer the question then, Derpy mate? They don't hit every time. Clearly though, once you get up to here, and there's like three of the darn things. If that's that, yeah, there's three there. Like I said, I'd pinch that lot, take that out. That's just asking for trouble, isn't it? Righty ho. That's it. So crews, start thinking about sea serpents. Definitely, like I said, you can definitely use Molotov maidens for building damage as well as, even though it's explosive, it does work. I've tested it twice. And sea serpents is definitely the way ahead. Just be cautious about all the other ones because, as I said, you creeping death you can get with extra building damage, fine 19%, but I don't know if that's a wise idea. Losing 24% evade and obviously your turn speed to put on a bit more building damage, I don't think that's the right thing to do, to be honest. You saw how difficult it was to try and get into that Valkyrie carrier. That was quite awkward. With losing 150% turn speed, I think that would have been a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. I'd have too much forward motion and not enough turn. Yeah, and consider those on the right-hand flank of the red dotted line then. Useful in some areas, apart from the pointless crew, because they don't deflect or prevent any damage from corrosive, because obviously the crews were all produced before the corrosive came into the game. So whilst it'll help, obviously with penetrative damage, it isn't going to help you with anything that's scattergun related. And yet again, you're going to lose evade and you're going to lose turn speed as well, which I think is an absolute must to have. Right, that's it. I'll just say thanks very much for tuning in, and I hope you found that beneficial. Hopefully, the targets this time will be very much like the VXP targets were that we've just seen, and not like the last raid where it all changed. We'll see. Yeah. And there's another one, yeah, combat speed, good crew, yeah. I'm just worried about the turn speed. I'm just cautious about that. Anyway, an hour and 20 minutes of chicken free time for you then. So you can go back to watching your chickens now, mate. Radio, take it care, and I'll be back soon. Okay then? All the very best.